Hi all, I'm your trainer Isretta Allen and welcome to the Organizational Health and Developmental Training course. In order to produce a work environment that is conducive to challenge, growth, advancement, and overall increased productivity, employers must always provide these pathways to their employees. As such, by the conclusion of this training course, each trainee should be able to do the following things. 1. Identify workplace conflict and how to resolve it. 2. How to foster healthy relationships with personnel. And 3. How to give and receive constructive feedback. So first, in the first section, we're going to talk about conflict management. For starters, let's kind of define what organizational conflict actually is. One way that conflict can be defined is by having a disagreement between individuals or a group within that organization, which can center around factors ranging from resource allocation, divisions of responsibilities to overall direction of the organization. Basically, just any kind of conflict between individuals that may not be on the same page. Sounds pretty confrontational, right? Well, despite what you think or what most people believe, conflict can actually be a negative thing and a positive thing. And so we're going to talk today about a few of the negative aspects of conflict, which are the obvious, and then you have some of the positive aspects of conflict. Some of the negative aspects of conflict is that it can cause stress and reduce morale across the organization. You've got the fact that it can produce employee dissatisfaction, which kind of in turn can lead to high turnover or decreased productivity, and we don't want that. Then you have the fact that it can dissolve trust, it can reduce work quality and be infectious to others around the organization. Those are definitely toxic and unwanted outcomes. So let's kind of talk about some of the positive things, aspects that conflict management can bring about. It can create positive changes to effectively communicate concerns and listen to others' perspectives that might be different from your own. We all need to kind of get used to the fact that we're all different, we're all diverse, and we need to kind of consider other perspectives. It can also bring about creativity and innovation. And then another thing is that it can actually bring employees closer together and create strong relationships between them once you have good resolutions to issues. So what do we do? Lastly, we'll talk about like 5 practical steps of resolving conflict. I'd say step 1 is identify the conflict and the source of it. That's important, the source. Then 2, look deeper and beyond just the incident itself. I like to think of it as looking at the behavior rather than the person. And then determine or request reasonable solutions at hand. And then 4, identify solutions and things that each party can kind of get behind. And then 5, come to a mutual agreement with self-respect and preventative measures. That kind of concludes the conflict management aspect in the workplace. And let's briefly discuss giving and receiving feedback, part 2 of our discussion today. What is feedback? Feedback is basically, it kind of clarifies the expectations of managers or even subordinates within an organization as a whole, and it aids in assisting individuals with becoming able to build confidence and kind of prevent mistakes. When giving feedback, employees need to, feel wanted. They want to feel like they've contributed, they're valued, and failing to do so can make them feel unwanted or ignored or even unimportant. So always pick the right time and place to give feedback, and also be specific and clear about what that feedback is. Lastly, when you're receiving it, listen attentively, repeat what they've said to kind of clarify, ask positive and negative aspects or specifics on your actual performance, and then show appreciation and be sure to follow up with them. So this concludes our discussion on the importance and significance of conflict management and feedback in the workplace. Be sure to take the assessment quiz and the questionnaire to follow in testing your knowledge. I hope this has been helpful for you. Thanks, and see you soon.